let's see. Let me just get a couple things going. I've got it set up so that I am talking to you on my phone, and then I have my computer going with the chat. So I'm hoping this setup will work. I want to get better with live streaming, and I'd really like to start doing more like live draws as well. Hold on. And I thought this would be kind of a fun test drive with it. Eventually, I wouldn't mind figuring out the whole streaming platform so that I can chat with you like this and you guys can see the overview of my desk, but one thing at a time. One thing at a time. I'm not tech stupid, but I'm also not tech smart. So there's that. So now what I was thinking today, I could do a sketch, and I'll show you guys the materials I'm going to be working with. And I'll also tell you about the giveaway before we jump into the sketching, which I'm going to have to change my camera around, so please bear with me. So the sketch that I'm doing is going to look a lot like this. I'm actually working on one of my first oil paintings in years. So I figured I'd start small. That will be this guy, but what I'm going to sketch today is going to be pretty much the same setup. I might make it a little different. We'll see how we go. So it'll be a little redundant for you guys watching this and then seeing the painting video later, but drawing and painting are very, well, not, they're different. So, but yeah, I've got this one coming up soon, and I'm scared shitless. So we've got that. Put that aside. So we've got two choices here, and I figured I'd have you guys help me on which one. Gummies. Vitamin gummies. Not the other gummies. Alright, so okay, here's the problem with artists. We collect stuff. We're hoarders. Collecting stuff is a nice way to put it. The amount of notebooks or sketchbooks that I have never used, here are two of them. Just two of the massive collection. So I was going to let you guys choose which toned paper to use because I've never used either one of these, which is just stupid. But we've got the tan. It's not a bright white page. Or we've got the gray. I'll see what you guys say in the chat. That's decision number one. I think if we do this again, I'll have you guys send me photo references of things you'd like to see me do rather than me just picking something. Let's see. Why is the chat so far down? What's going on with this? There we go. Now I can see you. Okay. Hi, Chris. Doing really well. Rainy and cold here in Manchester, Vermont. Oh, I miss home. I'm so jealous. Good morning, Chris. I think it's still morning for you. It is. It is 10 o'clock in the morning here. Mike says, that's what I tell people. I'm a total hoarder and collector. If you saw the amount of supplies that I have never touched, I've just been hoarding over the years, figuring I would eventually get back to my art. And now I'm at a place where I really don't have to go to an art shop for the most part. Today I had a little trouble finding one of my pencils. I'll explain that later, but I found something that'll work it should work just as well, so that's fine. All right, so what do we have we have one person saying tan, so we'll go tan. And so these, yeah, they're supposed, I mean, it's nice because you're starting out with like a mid-tone. You're not starting off on a bright white page. You're not starting off on something super dark. And the fun part with this paper is that you can then use white and black pencils for highlights and shades. So that makes it kind of handy. They always have these pages that are perforated, but they're not exactly easy to get out without destroying the paper. And we'll figure this. I will figure this out. Ugh. Alright, come on. Come on, sketchbook. This is the other thing that people have a problem with. Hello, Chris from British Columbia, Canada. Hello to you as well, Spider Queen. Hello, Chris. Yay, get to see you do art. It's been a while. It's been way too long. Oh, David, how are you doing? Yeah, it's been too long. I've had a lot going on here. A lot of people do not know this. I have a parent that is dealing with cancer, and they're doing really, really well. But it started off in July, so almost going on a full year of it. Not too long. Is that shirt from your shop? It's cute. It is. I designed this one. Ghost shows and comfy clothes. I had actually had a crime show and comfy clothes shirt that I bought from a different vendor, and then somebody who shopped at my store a lot asked me if I could do a ghost shows design, so that's what I came up with. And there's a link to this in the description as well, but I've got it on shirts and mugs and notebooks and all kinds of stuff. Thank you, Lorraine. Yeah, they're doing really well. They're doing really, really well. It's just been so many ups and downs, and it's been a lot. It's been a lot, so we're getting there. I have the crime show shirt already. Oh, I liked that one. I really liked that one. Okay, so let's see. We've got our paper. I might cut this down. I might cut this in half, actually. This is just a little big for today. And why waste the whole sheet, right? All right. So, what was I going to say? I was going to tell you guys something. Oh, yeah, notebooks or sketchbooks. Here's a problem with sketchbooks, and I think the other art people in here will agree with me, is that you buy one with all these big hopes and dreams, and then you stress over the first page. You might make it past the first page and be happy with it, and then all of a sudden that next drawing just goes horribly wrong. And then you decide that the entire sketchbook must be cursed. There's no other explanation, so you can't use it. Then it goes onto your shelf of barely used sketchbooks, and they sit up there and they're jealous of each new one you bring home because you now believe that last one was cursed. These ones didn't even make it to the point of cursed. I just bought them and I forgot about them, so you guys are going on a little bit of a journey with me today. Okay, so now the giveaway part. Seems like every time I do lives, people end up throwing supers at me, and then I just am like, you don't have to do that. I appreciate it, but you don't have to do that. And then I wish I could do more for them. So there's only one of me. I can only draw so many things at a time. But what I was thinking is when people send supers during a live, if it's not something that I'm working on for something specific and it's just like a sketching practice kind of thing like today, I think what I'll do is I will take whoever sent supers regardless of how much they did. I don't care if it's friggin' a penny to $20. I don't care what it is. I'll take all those people at the end and I'll pull a random person from it, from that lineup, and then I will send them the sketch. I will send them one of my bumper stickers and one of my Ghost Shows stickers. So that is what I decided to start doing, so I feel like I have a little more to throw at you guys when you do this to me, because like I said, I appreciate it, but then I'm like, I don't know what to do. It's a weird feeling. Okay, so we've got our paper picked. Told you about the giveaway and how that works. I will change camera views so you can see over my table. Has everything been pretty clear so far as picture? It looks okay on my computer. That was the one thing I was worried about, but I am on Starlink now, so I splurged last year before the shit hit the fan. All right, let's see. We'll get you guys set up on this. And let's see. Do you look out the window so you don't have to see my 20 necks looking down? Because that's always super attractive, right? Let's see here. There we go. Oh, wrong side. Wrong side. Bear with me, bear with me. Watch, I'm probably making some of you guys sick. Oh, this tripod setup sucks. Well, not the setup itself, but this little arm that holds my phone likes to fight with me. Okay, that's not horrible, right? I don't think. Yeah, that should work. Okay, It's funny, watching on my computer, it's a little behind. Up here. There we go. You're like, Chris, this is not the time to be a perfectionist, but now I can get rid of this stand on my bed. Or the stand that was on my table. So you could see me. Okay. I think we got it. All right. Okay, looks clear and the sound is clear. Awesome. Looks good, Chris. Looks great. Awesome, awesome. Good morning, says Brett. Good morning. Richard, I'm getting seasick. See, this is the thing, is as soon as I figure out how the platform, like the platforms work to actually run a normal stream, not just off my phone, I could have two solid angles set up, so you guys I wouldn't have to be bouncing you between two different views. Nothing like getting seasick watching a live stream. All right. Picture looks great. Thank you. Awesome. Okay, so I might try to, how am I gonna do this? I want to see you guys chatting. Let me see if I can make this screen smaller here. Okay, I don't like this because then oh, is that the way? I don't understand. So I'm watching you guys on, that sounds creepy. I'm Spider Queen, I feel like I'm upside down. I think you are with the view of my camera. Yeah, you are. The way I'm viewing it too, it looks upside down. How do we fix that? I don't know if we can we? Do I risk it? I mean, if I, here, you can see my desk. Is that all upside down? Orientate, yeah, but the camera is on the other side of the phone, so how do we do that? I'd have to set up the tripod on the other direction. Son of a biatch. The things you learn as you go. Can you guys deal with this view? Well, no, because then you're going to have the picture all upside down, too. Son of a gun. How do we do this? I don't know if I can set up a different view. This is the hard part. And my phone orientation is locked. Rotate device back. Yeah, that's nice that you're saying that, but wonder orientation of. Sorry guys, you are my guinea pigs. Shit. She swears a lot. In case you weren't aware. Alright, I'm gonna try this. Bear with me. Try not to barf. Alright. What is it doing? Okay, so that's the right orientation. We're gonna figure this shit out, I swear. Is that okay? Let me see my phone, my camera. Oh, please rotate the right way. Oh, it is. No, it's not. You guys are gonna go, oh man, this thing is driving me nuts. Some serious technical difficulties. What the heck? Okay, so now you got this weird side view. Son of a biatch. Do you know what the problem is I can't get my camera to not be hidden by the setup. Or can I? No, because maybe I can. Hold on again. You guys are going for a ride. Who needs Six Flags when you've got Chris Williams? We can't just stand on our heads. That would help if you could. I didn't even think of this problem. I mean, come on. There we go. Let's see if this works. Is the thing gonna be? Yeah, see, this is what happens when I have it the right way around. You get the stand in the view. Suck. Cock-a-doodle-doo. This is stupid. How do I fix this without holding the thing the whole time? Good Lord, guys. Every time I try to set something up, I do something crazy. This is where I'm at. What? I wonder if the camera will let me. I wish it would let me change orientation while shooting, because then I could just flip it. But it's not gonna let me do that. So then you're, oh, son of a bitch. All right. I wonder if I could get. That was my chair. That was that was not me. Hold on. What the frig? It's only something. I should have set it up too. See if I could fix. This is what makes it so entertaining. Well, I'm glad. Fuck, man. How do I fix this? How do I fix it? All right, I'm gonna put you upside down for a second. Maybe I can draw upside down. Is that what we're doing today? That would be kind of funny. Should I try drawing upside down? I mean, funny and annoying at the same time for me anyway, but it'd be kind of funny. All right. Oh, suck. This thing's gonna give me trouble now too. What's going on today? Oh my God. This thing. Guys, I am so sorry. I don't understand this. Now my tripod thing doesn't want to work. You know, we're going to try drawing upside down today. Because why? This is how my day is going. This is how it's going to happen. Son of a bitch. What the fuck is going on? Alright. Stay, camera. Stay. Try squatting on the other side of the desk. I know, well, the other side of the desk is up against a wall, so I can't really do that. Otherwise, that would be a really good idea. I'd have to rearrange my entire room. Honestly, drawing upside down would be kind of an interesting thing to do. Okay, shall we try drawing upside down? Because I don't even know what to do at this point. I'll flip my reference drawing. We'll see how crazy this goes. Hey, this is a drawing exercise, right? Complete and utter chaos is what it is. Crap. We can say we're here. We need to spin us all around. Oh my God, this is ridiculous. Okay. Man, I'm so annoyed right now. I don't understand what happened. What is going on? I don't know if there's another tripod I can use that would be like... Maybe, oh, you know, maybe I have a tabletop one that can be a little less stupid. Hold on. Do I? I think I do. Alright, what's this one doing? I just liked the overhead view though. Like, this kind of sucks. This kind of sucks. Hi, Miss Williams. How are you today? I am, functioning. Just barely. Alright, let's see what this view looks like, and if not, then we'll figure it out. Well, I don't even know what to do anymore. This was not a problem I expected. This is perfect. I'll turn my camera upside down and watch. Alright. This is, I mean, not the best view in the world, but it's not the worst either, right? For right now. I don't know what else to do, guys. I didn't expect my camera to do that. And if I had just started it the vertical way, it probably would have worked, but the laughing and cursing makes it all worth it. Well, there's no shortage of either, so. Alright, I mean, I don't know what else to do. That might have to be it. It sucks because you can't get the top view of what actually is going on, but I think that's the best we've got today. I'll figure out why or how I screwed up next time. I just can't get it. The stand is like on the wrong side, basically. There's no other way to do it. And then I've got this whole clamp set up that I'd have to move to get that arm on the other side of the table. So then it just becomes it just becomes an even wackier situation. Okay, so as far as materials, I didn't want to do anything too insane today, right? It's just goofing off. So I have these two erasers, which I love. They're both by Tombow Zeros. And they are like a mechanical pencil, so you can just keep getting the eraser out. Those are great, and they're great for like little details or just little spots you're trying to get rid of. And they also have another one that's square nib on it. This is fine, Chris. Hope you're doing well. It will work, don't worry. All right, and then we've got, usually for sketching out what I'm doing, I'll just use a HB pencil. This is an 8. Where did my HB go? The pencil fairies are screwing with me today. We'll just stick with this one. Screw it. I'll have to go light. So usually I have an HB pencil. And then typically I'd have the General's charcoal in black and white, but I couldn't find my white one today. This is like, this is, I don't know what's going on today. And then instead of the General's one, I found this one, which was like I think it says white chalk on it. I'm assuming it's kind of the same thing, right? It's gotta be. I mean, I hope it is, because if not, I don't know what to tell you. You'll be hearing me swear again shortly. And then my ruler, which likes to go MIA. I don't know if there's like a black hole in this room or what, but certain things disappear, and it's typically rulers, scissors, and HB pencils. So that's where we're at. That is all I'm using. Okie doke. Let's do this. So if you guys want to throw any questions at me, anything you want to ask, go for it. It doesn't just have to be art. And I'm going to start working on this stinker. Hopefully there won't be too much swearing involved. So let's see. I am a weirdo that needs kind of like a box down to draw in. I don't know why, but I do. So we'll go 5x7 on this. And now we're gonna stress over pencils, right? 5x7. Why I always have to do this. It's like you've got the edges of the paper, but I still, for some reason, need an actual line because I'm a weirdo like that. This is gonna be like hopefully the hardest part of the whole thing because damn it, oh, I need my longer ruler. I don't know what is going on today. You guys are getting like maiden ship voyage right now. All right, that should work. We'll do a 5x7. All you can see is my hand right now probably, but give me 2 shakes. Okay. What do we got over here? What are you making today? So I have a bottles reference picture that I have right now, and I'm actually going to be working on a painting of it shortly too. And I wanted to more or less play with the materials today than anything else. So, yeah. Hold on. So what I'm drawing is going to look somewhat similar to that. Not exactly like that. It might not be as much detail, but that's the reference photo that I'm working off of. So I can change it up and just play around and all that fun stuff. And then we've got what? We need 5x7. So we'll start up here. Where do we go? I should have done this before, but I wanted you guys to pick paper, so I'm going to blame you. That's me blaming you right now. It's really weird getting back into something you haven't like put enough time and attention to for years, that is something you used to be good at and now it's kind of hard. Like there's still stuff that I remember as far as like the little tricks and things that I would do for making things a little faster, but it's just my process these days is just like slow-mo. All right, so that's there. You poor guys are getting thrown around with cameras, and now you're watching me draw a square or a rectangle, so there's that too. It's okay. That's okay. These things will get smoother as I do them. I want to kind of get in the habit of doing this maybe once a month. I can't do it every week. Every week would be nice, but realistically, I don't have the time to be doing that. Although I should be practicing more than once a week. All right, I got a wooden ruler next to me. It's my back scratcher. I mean, hey, why not, right? Dual functions. I am taking a drink every time you swear. Let's go. You are going to be hammered as as they say back home. Oh my gosh. The Chris Williams drinking game. Absolutely. I've got a potty mouth. I'm sorry. I can't help it. It's like a Bermuda Triangle in your room. It seriously is. Okay. So let's see. First of all, my trick to things, it's not like a trick. It's just I try to eyeball like whereabouts like the height of things are first. So I'm going to put this right about here for my first bottle. My second one is just a hair shorter. And let's see, this one is the furthest back, so that one sits up a little higher. And I'm just gonna do, let's see, it comes down about, it's about that far away from the edge, maybe a 1/4 inch away from the edge. And then it's about halfway-ish, a little over halfway. And the thing. So this isn't going to look exactly like my reference. It doesn't have to look exact. That's the hard part, and that's where I get stuck a lot, is I'm like, it's got to look exactly like the reference. But as long as it makes sense, long as like the perspective makes sense, its overall structure makes sense. Like you don't have to get every single little detail. This is me kind of just like blocking things out very loosely. Usually you'll start breaking things down into smaller shapes, but right now I do this to try to find my placement. Now these two bottles that I'm looking at on my screen, they pretty much touch. They look like they touch in the middle, but this right one sits a little further, like it sits a little closer to me, right? This one's kind of pushed a little further behind. So the bottom of it is going to stop lower on the page than this one, because this one is behind that one. These ones, they look like they're touching in the middle, but they're not, because this one's just a hair head, but still it can look like they're touching in the middle, right? So we get that. And we get this. And okay, so there's our basic, where our bottle is going to fall into, and this one goes right to the edge, so that's fine. Then we have this other one that sits, where does this sit? It sits right about here, maybe. Again, doesn't have to be perfect, just trying to get my general layout. So I'm going to do another little box, another little square. And this one sits a hair lower than this right one because this one is closer to us. So the bottoms always end up closer or lower on the page to show that they're closer to us. Okay, so that one should be okay. Actually, should have been over a hair, but again, it doesn't have to be perfect. So we'll leave it right there. And then this one, the small bottle over here, sits, I'd say, about the same as this one. So maybe I will move that over a hair just so that I don't overlap. We'll get this like this. Like that. There we go. Which that one's the small bottle, so that's fine. And this one almost touches the side. And we have another, and this one is smaller than this one, so we don't want to go too high with that. right? So we'll go right about there. All right, so general layout, nothing crazy. All right, now where the hell did she start, right? I'm very much a wing it type of person, so like I'm still trying to get back into, like I said, I'm relearning. I'm relearning is what I'm trying to say. So I'm still kind of flying by the seat of my pants a little bit. So now this back bottle, let's see, the neck, let's see, the cork is about here. The lip of the bottle is about there. The neck is about, I'd say about that long. Okay, so just with that alone, that gives me just a tiny little reference of how big the cork's going to be, how big the lip of the bottle is, and how big the neck is, right? So now from the neck, let's see, I'm going to put that about a little, it's kind of off center really. That's the thing with antique bottles that I really like is that if you look at them, they're kind of wobbly. The lips will be kind of like the lip of, or the lip of the bottle will be a little off kilter. There'll be like little blobs, or like the neck of it will be kind of crooked. It's just kind of different. It's not perfect. So even then, like if you don't get your drawing perfect, it really doesn't matter. Like you don't have to get it dead on. So now this kind of does a little curve. We'll go about there and about there. And this bottle goes right to the edge. Okay, and then the thing with bottles is like a lot of people, they'll just draw a straight line, right? Straight line down the bottom, but you're not accounting for the fact that it is a 3D object, right? So usually what you do is you kind of like curve the bottom just a hair, and it depends on how high or low you are viewing the bottle. The higher you are, it's going to change the curve. The lower that you are, it's going to change the curve. And if you're looking at that dead center, like right eye level, then it's going to look pretty much flat because you're eye level. So it just depends on what you're doing. Now you could go crazy with perspective lines, but with something like this, I'm not even going to bother. So I want to just give that a little bit of a curve. I can fix that later if I need to. And then I don't want to make these lines too crazy because I'm going to have to do some erasing. And then let's see, up with the neck, and then the same thing with this. It's more eye level, so it's going to have less of a curve than the bottom part of the bottle. And this doesn't stick too far out past the neck, so we'll just do one of these, right? It sticks out a little bit, but I talk to myself when I'm in my craft room. Hubs asks, who are you talking to? I talk to myself so much. I got to the point where I texted Dustin. I'm like, hey, do you talk to yourself? Because I'm starting to feel a little crazy. But yeah, I'll talk myself through things. I'll kind of like think out loud. Now this cork is just a hair off kilter as well. It's like leaning kind of forward, so there's more of a you can kind of see the top of it just a hair, but that's because the cork's in there kind of off kilter. So we will do that for now. And let's see. It's not horrible. Okay, so that's roughly one bottle, right? We're not going for perfect. We're just gonna get it on the paper. She's talking to the craft room fairies, hubby. I know, back off, hubby. Back off. Sometimes you need an expert advice, right? Exactly. The hair is a wonderful unit. What? The hair is a wonderful unit of measurement. Okay. Okay. So which one do we tackle next? The next big one? Get that out of the way. That actually sits a little lower, but that's okay. That's okay. All right, so we'll lower it a little bit, just a hair. I'm gonna have some erasing to do. I remember in high school, there was this kid that was like, if you're an artist, you don't use an eraser. And I'm just like, then why are there so many like artist erasers, numbnuts? That makes no sense. I remember being so annoyed with them. I'm like, what the hell are you talking about, you idiot? They have so many different types of erasers for artists. It's kind of stupid because the one that I like the most is the kneaded eraser. It just doesn't leave a mess. It's really good at picking things up like clean. These start off in a square and then it just ends up looking like a big old piece of gum. But you can fold it to any shape you want. And like if you need to erase something tiny, then you just kind of like squeeze it to a point and you can erase that little bit. But I use these a lot. They look gross, but they're fine. And then if they get too kind of gunky, they look a little, you can see a lot of the graphite or whatever on them. You can just kind of squeeze them and shape them, and then eventually it'll kind of like go back to its light color. Yeah, it takes a lot to really wear them out. Michael says I can't draw to save my life. You said it's off a hair. Oh, okay. Okay, I got you now. Yeah, so the whole like artists don't use erasers. I was just like, I wanted to punch him. I think he was trying to get under my skin, and it worked. He was being a jackass. All right, so I'd say about there is where the bottle curves for the body. The lip of the bottle is way up here, and that's even off kilter because, again, antique bottle. So the neck, let's see, it's about right there, maybe for the sides of the, and then the neck is just tucked in a little bit. The neck of the bottle's all goofy. See, it's almost too bad. See, if I can figure out the streaming platforms too that I could use, then I can have my reference picture up as well. And then you guys will know what the hell I'm talking about. Learning as we go. All right, so we've got the bottle started. There we go. And this one kind of like kicks out. And because of that, you can see a little bit of the opening. And that drops down. Okay. So now we get 2 bottles. Just barely. I'm gonna wait. Otherwise, I'm gonna be like erasing every 5 seconds. That is a pretty stupid comment. Of course you need an eraser if you're a real artist. That's how the concept is formed. And a lot of times people use erasers to create detail as well, especially when they're using pencil. Saying artists don't use erasers is like saying writers only use pen. Yeah, it was such a dumb comment, and I remember it annoying the crap out of me as a kid. And like I said, I think they were trying to get under my skin, but it was just like, what is wrong with you? All right, so this is actually pretty different from my reference in that the bottles are sitting, these front 2 are actually sitting a lot lower, but again, it's fine. It doesn't have to be exactly like the reference photo, right? And I might raise the neck of this up a hair. Okay, so then the bottom of the bottle, not the bottom, the top, maybe about there, and the lip about there. It does kind of have a long neck to it, so I'll give it the long neck. It's fun too to see how different people like lay things out shapes wise. That might need a little bit of a curve actually. A lot of it is breaking things down into smaller shapes. I kind of did this a little different. Still the same kind of idea. Just what we got? I have one eraser, or I have one pencil and 37 erasers. Erasers are the other things that just kind of go missing. I've had this one for a while, which kind of shocks me because they usually take off on me too. Saying artists don't use eraser. Okay, I read that one. I don't know if I missed anybody. Sorry I'm late. Stupid work stuff. Nate, honestly, you missed a whole lot of chaos, so don't worry about it. You missed getting seasick. All right, so this one is lower, and because of that, you can see a little bit of the top of that bottle. So we'll give that that, and we'll bring this down just a little bit. Okay. There's roughly our other one. This one. Okay. Fourth bottle. Fourth and final bottle. Do we want to set that one a little more forward? Probably could do that. You know what? I'm going to. Screw it. I want to. So, make it a little different. Further down. There we go. This bottle looks a little crooked. Looks like it's had a little too much to drink. Hold on. Hold on. It's because of the way I'm looking at it. Those sides don't look straight. You're like, oh my god, there's a hot mess. There's so many lines. I'll make sense of it in a little bit. Half of it, it's like you're just carving things away. Like you'll add a little bit, add a little bit, add a little bit, and then you take it, you carve it away with your eraser. So as long as you're going light with the sketch, you can get rid of most things. My problem is a lot of times I'm heavy-handed, and then it just ends up being a pain in the ass to erase. So definitely got to keep it light. All right, so I'm gonna start the curve here. So we'll do that. And I'll do this. I do need to sit and practice more. That's my problem, is I'm trying so hard to turn art into my job, which is something as a kid, I never imagined myself ever becoming a ghost hunter. That was just never on the radar. It's not that it's like a bad thing that I got into it. It's just not something I ever would have imagined getting into. So when I was a kid, my dream was to be an artist. And I'm kind of trying to get back to that and get back to my art, because like I said earlier, life's been kind of nuts lately. And I remember as a kid, it was like one of the few ways I could get my brain to turn off. So I think a return to it would be good in general, but I'm kind of scared on the work side of it because, one, most people who know me do not know that I do this at all, or they do, because some of you guys have just been seeing me share stuff online, but they don't usually think artist when they think of me, which is fine. But I am working on it. Okay, that top is not looking right, but we will fix it. It's fine. All right, so then we get the lip of the bottle, the lip of the bottle. Okay, let's get rid of some extra lines here that don't need to be here anymore. And we'll make things look a little cleaner. I have a sketchbook that is filled with good intentions and no drawings. I hear you. I have so many sketchbooks. Like I said, this tan sketchbook and the gray toned one, this is the first time I've even touched them after buying them. I put them up on my shelf and they've just been sitting there. So, and I've really been wanting to use this because I've seen people use the tone paper, and it's cool because they just use black and white pencil and they get some really cool like results, because with the paper being not stark white, it's like that mid-tone kind of color. It's got some sort of shade to it. When you add, you can add highlights with your white, and you can add shade or shading and hard lines and contour lines, all that with your pencil, your regular pencil. So it's kind of cool. But apparently not cool enough to make my ass sit down and do this a lot sooner than now. It's like, I don't know what's wrong with me. But, okay, so our bottles are slowly coming to life, I think. Can you guys see them? See where I'm going? The thing that I like about these erasers, is you don't have to like, that eraser does a really clean job. It really does. It's like one of the best ones. And it doesn't leave all that little bits of eraser behind either. It just pulls up exactly what you need. A lot of times too, you'll see artists when they use these, they want to lighten their drawing, which I might do later once I get my lines, but they'll just roll it on top, and that's even enough to lighten it. Like these things work great. I did put links to everything that I'm using in the description. They're all like affiliate links too, just to give you a heads up. It doesn't cost you anymore, but if you shop through them, it kind of throws a percentage of the sale at me. So, but yeah, the only thing listed in there is everything you guys see me using today. But yeah, I love these erasers so much. Half the time it's just like a friggin' fidget toy. It's like, you can just play with them while you're stressing. Let's see. Get rid of some of this mess. Do you guys, for those of you who do art, like what's your favorite medium? And when I say medium, for those of you who are here with the ghosty stuff and you don't understand the art stuff, medium is art supply. So do you like working in oil paint? Do you like working with watercolor? Do you like working with clay? So when you hear somebody who's into art ask you about mediums, they're not talking about contacting the dead. They are talking about supplies you like to use. So for those of you who do draw or paints, or you're just artsy fartsy like I am, what do you like using? You really have a talent for this. Thank you, Richard. Thank you. Okay, so all this is loose. We weren't, like I said, we weren't looking for perfect right off the bat. We're looking for just getting those basic shapes down. Now, if this was something else, like not bottles are, I don't want to say bottles are easy because they're not. You're still dealing with a lot of like elliptical kind of shapes, which can kind of be a pain in the ass, to be honest, especially if you're not doing all your perspective lines. You gotta really just have to eyeball it. But with other objects, you know, you'd look for smaller shapes within the bigger shape. For me, I was just working with height and squares, like figuring out the height of stuff to figure out what I'm doing. But there's you can break things down a lot more than that. A lot more than that. All right, get in there. Get rid of these. Now my problem lately too is I outline the crap out of everything. So everything I do these days looks like illustration. It's something I really need to work on, which is not going to be today, but I would like to get better about just leaving lines out where you really don't need them. Your brain kind of puts it together, or let's say, you know, there's a massive highlight on here. Some people would just like leave that line broken, because if you had a darker background, you're going to see it anyways between the two different colors. It's not like you need a clear line. But my silly butt will put one down anyways, because for some reason my brain wants to. I can't draw or paint, but I like working with wood, scroll sawing. Learning to draw better would help with that, so I can make my own patterns on the wood. Yeah, it does help a lot. And honestly, drawing, like a lot of people are like, oh, I can't draw for anything, but there's a lot of tricks you can use. There's a lot of tricks. Like I was saying, one of the tricks is breaking things down into smaller bits or smaller pieces. It's finding shapes within a shape, like an overall shape. That helps out a lot. Then, you know, if you're doing something with perspective, you'd be using horizon lines, and there's just all these little tricks you can learn that makes drawing a lot easier. And the more you understand them, a lot of times you don't even need to use those they're not even cheat codes, but like you just get an eye for things after a while and you don't have to rely on that stuff as much. I'm not saying at all, because a lot of the stuff you know, you do need for the initial like setup. But okay, we got four bottles. They're looking okay. Let's see. This bottom edge. See what I mean about like I'm obsessive with lines. Lines are not always your friends. One of these days I will learn that. Okay, so we've got our bottles. Not so shabby. I still love drawing from time to time, but I kind of got lost. I kind of lost motivation for it. I think mostly work takes up so much energy. Yeah, I hear ya. I hear ya. No, not an artist, but I like colored pencils. They're more precise, but add color as well. Yeah, colored pencils are pretty good. I've got my colored pencils and my markers staring at me because I've been working on sketch cards. My friend Mike is a sketch card artist. He's really good. How did I just have this set up? Because I liked it better a second ago. There we go. So I've been working on sketch cards, and these are what I've got going on right now. I started lining this guy yesterday. So I still have marker and pencil and colored pencil to do on him. And then I have, this is like one of the 4 that don't belong situation. So we got Belle and the Beast, and then we have, come on, we have the Marshmallow Man. And I started working on this one yesterday too, just the pencil outlines. I might attack her different. That's why I didn't start with the marker outline yet, but we'll see. Okay, bottles. Where do we go now? What do? We gotta like make these lines a little more solid. I don't know if I should just jump in with this charcoal-y one or if I should still play around with my regular pencil first. All right, we'll play around first with this. So this one's kind of got like a blob in the glass right in the neck. That's awesome. I build and paint guitar. That's awesome. That is really cool. Man, that's an art for sure. I'd love to see pictures of some of them. Do you have them posted anywhere where everybody could have a look? Because that's really pretty awesome. Okay. So this neck kind of creeps up, lumps out like a so, and kicks out. You can hear my dad in the background. So I'm living with my parents, and I've been helping with the chaos here. I don't know if you guys can hear them or not. Sounds like it's medication time. All right. So that's not so horrible. That's not so bad. Yeah, I freaking love these erasers so much. Are those poison or potion? They could be either, really. I'm lucky if I can make a basic stick figure. I bet you could do them more than that if you practice, and you need some of the tricks to it. It's funny, like, people, I don't know. There's some artists that are like, I don't have talent. I just practiced a lot. It's like, yeah, you do. And you did. There's a lot of work. Because here's the problem, is they feel that if somebody says, oh, you're so talented, it kind of undermines the amount of work they did to get where they are. Because even if you have a natural knack for it, if it's something that just kind of, you have, it comes to you a little easier than it comes to somebody else, you still have to work at it to get better. So I think when they hear talent, they get all bent out of shape and kind of pissed because they feel like it just doesn't take into account the hours they put into getting better. And I can understand that. But I think there's also a talent or a natural understanding of some things that people have more so than somebody else. It's like math. I suck at math. I'm not a math person. But my grandfather was amazing at it. I didn't know till later he was working on some nuclear thing. I had no idea. So, he had a natural knack, and also I'm sure love plays into it. He had a love for it as well, which I didn't. So maybe if I had a natural love for it, I'd be better at it. I don't know. But his way with numbers was a talent for him. So it's like I hate seeing people kind of strike it down as a bad thing, because it's not a bad thing. It is a compliment. But I can also see the other side of the fence where they're saying, well, I put a lot of time and work and effort and like learning the stages and the steps and how to break things down. It's like, yeah, okay. I understand that too, but like also don't, you have a talent. Whether you like it or not, you worked hard to gain it and be better at it. So why be pissy about it? I don't understand that part. You don't have to be great to start, but you have to start to be great. Exactly. And I think people who don't have a natural knack for it, you can learn a lot and you can get really good and you could do better than people that it does come naturally to. Because a lot of people who, let me tell you this. So I don't know how many of you are creative brains, but I find that those who are, oh my God, are we horrible to ourselves? We are so rotten to ourselves. We're good to other people. But we're so hard on ourselves and our ability or our lack of ability or need to practice, like whatever it is. I have so many friends that are so good at what they do, but they think they suck. And they're not, it's not like I suck, I'm looking for attention. It's like I'm not as good as I want to be or, whatever. But I look at their work and I think they're freaking amazing. So we're so hard on ourselves, but you don't have to be the best artist to be good at what you do or great at what you do. And a lot of times it's people that don't have the natural knack that are out there kicking ass because they're just doing it. They're not the person with the natural talent who's like questioning every friggin' thing they do and then they don't do anything. Oh, it's so frustrating. Why are we like this? That's my question. There you go. Now I'm just getting picky. But I still want to get the shapes a little bit better. A little bit better. This one has got just a hair of a curve. It's not much to it though. And kind of does a weird little, it's just weirdly shaped. Okay, there's that. Top bit's pretty much flat. And this side kind of weirdly goes up. This is what I mean about antique bottles. There is no perfect mold. It just kind of hand-blown glass too. This is probably, actually all the old stuff would have been. So that makes sense. Every now and then things make sense. God, I haven't even gotten a shading yet. That was the whole point of wanting to try this paper too. That's okay. Alright, so this is kind of weird actually. It doesn't tip, but it still shows a little bit. I don't even understand it. Maybe the cork is wonky. Nothing worse than a wonky cork. Start a page for her Nate. My daughter loves a page. She has become good at it. I love to show them off. Yeah, start a page for her. It'll be fun too because she'll be able to look back at all of it. Because a lot of times your drawings will just go missing, but if you get them somewhere online or like, yeah, if you get them somewhere online, you can always look back at them. I miss Chris with those limo riding jets, flying, styling, and profiling Rolex wearing during ghost hunting champion world. Yeah, we weren't any of that for the most part. And those that have a natural talent don't always hone in on them. Exactly. So if you don't have a natural talent but you bust your ass, you could do better than somebody who does have a natural talent for it because they don't take the time to get better. So you just gotta do it. I feel like sometimes it's like this is the part where I have a hard time doing things is like if I don't see the point, if there isn't a point to doing something, then I just don't do it, which isn't good because the point should just like right now the point is to practice, right? So I'm getting something out of this, even though, you know, even if I wasn't doing this live stream, I might be like, oh, I don't know, I don't have the time, I don't feel like it, what's the point? It's like, well, dumbass. The point is you're practicing to get better. The point is it's a good way to turn your brain off from the crazy BS in the world. Just sit down and freaking do it, you weirdo. I don't like that this, like you can see that, like it's messing with my head because it just seems off. But the cork can be tilted at us and then it would make sense why you can see the top. I don't know. And actually it shows less than that. How does it even show that much really? It doesn't make sense to me. It just doesn't make sense. Words to live by. Which one? I call myself a dumbass too. Yeah, I just wanted to pop in before work and say hi. Glad to see you live on YouTube. Hey Matt, how you doing? Hope you have a good day today at work. Let's see. All right, this one. Oh, you guys can't see what the hell I'm doing. All right, so this one's another one that is definitely, this one's definitely crooked. I think somebody sat on this one. This isn't me not having a V8 today. This is me like trying to follow a reference picture that's got a weird model in it. So okay. I think that's the problem with the AP pencils too. It's too dark. It's too dark. That's okay though. So you guys know the difference with the pencils? Why they're numbered 2, 4, 6, 8, and why they get B's or H's on them? You can do it, Rich. What is Rich doing? I don't do art anymore because I thought I wasn't good. Well, you're not going to be good if you don't do it, you goober. Whenever I put a cork back into the bottle, it's always crooked. So I think it looks natural, Chris. Oh, thank you for that. You should go live with your splashing painting stuff. You should go live. I'm like, what? Oh, I should go live with it. I am living with it. It's all over the house. Yeah, they are. So I'm working on a video on I'm working on a video that shows the entire process. It's a pain in the ass. It's the actual painting part doesn't take very long, funny enough. It's the prepping for it that takes forever. So, but yeah, I am working on a video that shows the entire process. I've got a couple drying on the table, but I'm going to have to do some touch-ups by hand, I think, on those, which I will do occasionally. Because I had to use 2 cups of black paint to flood the panel, which means just cover the panel with an initial layer. And the 2 cups didn't match exactly, so now I got these weird lines. So I might paint over the entire black areas by hand or figure out something else. These lines are coming together, okay? Right, right. What about this little fatty bottle? This thing's like short and just chunky. I feel like this is... I don't like that. What is going on here? What is happening right now? Okay, yeah, so somebody said, yes, show us. Okay. I'll show you a different set, because if I show you the set I've got, it's not going to fit in the camera. Alright. So here's one random set that was sent to me by Art Pop. I'm not sponsored by them. Sometimes you'll have companies that'll just be like, hey, can we send you a product and can you review it on our site? And I'm like, yeah, sure, that's fine. And they let you be honest about it, which is good. Okay, so usually with drawing sets, and this is true whether you're using this brand or you're using Faber-Castell or you're using like whatever, drawing pencils all have their own little numbers, okay? So you can see, you know, 5, these are out of order, but you'd have like B, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then it would go into, the F I've never really played around with, and off the top of my head I don't understand that one, so I will leave that alone. I didn't grow up with the F pencil. And then you have HB, which is what I typically do to do my sketches. Then you have the H and the 2H, 3H, 4H, it'll go up to 6, 8, 9. So the B means it's a softer lead. The softer the lead is, the darker the marks you're going to make, and the H means that this graphite is a lot harder. So it doesn't matter how much you push on these or, you know, push down to draw, you're only going to get so dark with them. So people will flip between the different pencils, doing different layers of the drawing to get, you know, different strengths or like darkness basically of the lead. So that's what that all is. It's really not that difficult, but it's like if I had used, like, this is a 8B, so these are leaving some dark lines and I'm not pressing down very hard. But if I used a 4H, they come out a lot lighter, you know? So that's how that works. Harder for softer lead. And an awesome eraser that picks it all up. I freaking love these stupid things. Alright, what am I doing now? What am I doing? What am I doing? Oh, we're working on that small one. Oh, what I really want to do is mix my art with my love of history and travel. So what I plan to do as I get going is a lot of things that I make will be influenced on travel and history. But right now I'm just trying to get back to... Why is this bugging me? Right now I'm just trying to get back into the swing of it. But I do have some fun projects in mind, so hopefully those will get started sooner rather than later. And the bottle painting, what is the eraser called again? It's called a kneaded eraser. I have a link for all this stuff. They're affiliate links, just so you guys have a heads up. It doesn't change the price for you at all. It just, they kick out a percentage to me of the sale. It's like a commission basically. But they're not expensive. They're like, I don't know, $3 or $4, $5, depending on the place you buy them at. But all the affiliate links that I have are in my description for the video. But yeah, kneaded eraser. They're just super, you can just squish them all up. A lot of people just, it's like a stress ball. But they're great. I like it because they just don't, they pick up everything just about, and they don't leave a mess behind. Some racers, it just leaves all this like dust, which I'm not a fan of. And like I said, you could like point it into this little point to get areas where you don't want to take away entire chunks of things. So it's pretty handy. I think that's what bothers me right there. There we go. Okay. And bottom edge of that big bottle. We will, the lip of this one too. I was gonna say we'll do the other one and then start trying to work on some shadows, or like getting the solid lines down with the darker one. I gotta start practicing with the lack of line, but it's not gonna be today. Not today, she says. So yeah, before you guys knew me as a ghost hunter, this is what people knew me for. They knew me for drawing and art in my school. That's what all my kids in school knew me for. It's what my family knew me for. It's what I wanted to be when I grew up, was an artist. So now I'm just a very out of practice one. But I'm going to try to fix that. The pores are fun, but it's just like, I always liked detail, so it's been good because it's kind of just forced me back into the creative space, but it's not the creative space I want to be in either, so there's that. I ask myself what I'm doing all the time. I'm with you. Hi, Chris. Do colored pencils have hard and soft leads too? They do, actually. They have like soft core ones. Soft core pencils. Prismacolors tend to be softer. There's another one. But yeah, they do have like different types of colored pencils will have different hard or soft lead in them. So it's definitely something to look into as well. Because some you might working with better than others. Some you might find blend better than others. They go down smoother, the softer ones. Sorry guys, I'm just trying to figure out where I left off. I went all the way to New Mexico art school, but I just lost my drive, I guess. That happens. Yeah, it definitely happens. Yeah. JFB says, it happens. I stepped away from music for a decade before returning because I wanted to do it for myself. Exactly. Like, even with genealogy, I love it, but I will step away for weeks to months to years at a time. I haven't touched it in a long time. Sometimes you just need a break. For me, I know in school, so when I was in high school, might as well just date myself at this point. I graduated in 99. And at that time, I was interested in traditional art, and everything was going to graphic design mainly. So I had my art teacher pushing for me to go to an art school, but I didn't want to do graphic design. I didn't want to be at a computer all day. Funny enough, joke was on me because I still end up in front of a computer all day, but it just, to me, art was something that you got covered in. You were covered in paint, you're covered in charcoal. Like my whole hand under here will be like black sometimes. Just, it's already starting. Just from working with materials. To me, that was art. I didn't want to be sitting at a computer drawing logos all day. So that turned me off, and I was gonna stick to it just on my own. Then I went to college and I was going for communications.
In high school, I'd had this internship with a radio station, a local AM station, and I was working the soundboards for that. Um, and I really enjoyed it. So then I was like, oh, I'm going to go to school for communications. Well, my art teacher, who had me all 4 years of high school, there was like 5 of us who she would push to, you know, stick with art and make it a career and go to art school and the whole lot. I love her to death. I still am friends with her on Facebook. Um, but I just lost interest because I didn't want to be doing graphic design. So, anyways, um, I go to college. I do communications, and my first year we had to do a art history class, and I remember hating it so much. It was so boring. I actually got a C in it. It was like the first art class I had that I didn't get an A. But it was all stuff I had already learned in high school. I was bored out of my freaking mind. The best part was is like the teacher would she gave us this assignment at the end of the year just to create anything. So I was like, okay. So I just took this assignment that I had done in high school and I turned it into college because it was during finals. She had no idea when I made it. So, um, yeah, I turned it in and I got an A on that one for like the second time because I was being lazy. But yeah, so then my second year of college, I hated. I didn't hate, but I was just like, I don't know. I just felt like something was missing. So I decided I would take 2 art based classes, or a no, I took one, I think. Yeah, I took one. It was an Adobe Illustrator and Photoshop class. So I did that more for sanity than for my major. And I was in there for a week or 2 weeks. And my professor came up to me and he's like, "Hey, hon, what's your major?" And no, he's like, "Have you ever touched this program before?" And I was like, "Illustrator?" And he's like, "Yeah." I'm like, "No, I've never." He's like, "You've never used it?" And I was like, "No, I don't know what I'm doing." He's like, "What's your major?" And I was like, "Oh, I'm in communications." And he's like, "Sweetie, you're in the wrong major." So then he talked to the head of the art department to have her sit with me. And then she accepted me on the spot for the next semester, but at that point I already decided I didn't want to go back. And then shortly after that, I ended up getting picked up for GH anyway, so that was that. And then on investigations, if I was sitting at center and there was nothing really going on, I'd make little like doodles of things. I remember Steve being like, "What are you doing?" Like, nothing. That is so cool. That's just a scribble. I wasn't trying. I'm just being weird. But okay, we're getting there. Some bottles are getting some shapes going, right? Okay, let's see. Blue 92, Blue 92. Thank you for that. All right. Hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Sorry I'm late. Hope you're well. Honestly, you're better off late because the startup was complete and utter chaos. For those of you who were there with me, they know what I'm talking about. My camera setup, I thought I was good, and of course I wasn't because that's the live streaming gods. Um, and thank you for the 15. I was explaining earlier today that when people throw supers at me during lives, I'm super grateful, but I also kind of don't know what to do. I'm like, thank you. So I kind of wanted to find a way of thanking people for doing it. So with that said, anybody who throws in a super, I don't care if it's a penny. I don't care if it's what Blue just did, 15. Regardless the amount you'd be thrown in to randomly get picked. One person will get randomly picked to have this. And I'll also send them one of my Ghosts Don't Scare Me bumper stickers and my Ghost Shows sticker. So far, Blue is in the running because there is no random picking at this point. It's just, thank you for that, Mista. I'm just 3 years younger. Okay. So you're an 80s baby too? I like designing with typography. That would be cool. Do you do any oil painting at all? I'm going to be starting. I was just I'd taken a couple of oil painting classes in high school and I haven't touched it since then. So I'm trying to get back into it and I kept overwhelming myself with the idea, right? So I was freaking myself out, wasn't sure where to start. And I have so many supplies here. Like I said, I have so many blank canvases staring at me right now. It's stupid. Hold on. Let me see if I can give you guys a little swing up to it. My room's a disaster, so don't judge me. But yeah, unused canvases, unused panels, sketchbooks. It's ridiculous. I've got so much stuff. So anyways, what I decided to do was I had canvases up there that was small. So this is a little 5x7, same bottle setup, but I'm going to do the design a little different. And I figured if I started on something small, it'd be a little less overwhelming and it would be a good way to practice, right? I think that if I jump straight into a big project like the one I've got in mind that I think you guys are going to love, I'm going to screw it up. I'm going to get frustrated. I'm not going to know what I'm doing because I haven't had any practice. And I just feel like starting on a smaller scale is just going to help me mentally kind of like learn and calm down and just kind of go with it. So that's that. So yes, oil painting I'm getting back into. Have you ever tried using charcoal? That was always hard for me. Yeah. I used to love charcoal and pastels. I have those kicking around too, and I haven't touched them, but it is very messy. It is super easy to screw up because it's just loose. It's so loose, and you can't. You always have to have a piece of paper under your hand while you're working on things so you're not smudging everything. It's definitely messy. Jay says, trying to recover from bad concussion. What did you do? Watching a lot of Ghost Hunters episodes for the past month has helped my mood. You and Amy were always great together. I'm glad it's helping your mood. Yeah, that's awful. What did you do to yourself? Richard Vogel, troublemaker, slipping in there. Thank you for that so much. Let's see. Blue says, to date myself, I graduated in 2000. My favorite thing to say is I was born and went to school in the late 1900s. Oh, goodness grief. Okay, 1982 to be specific. Yeah, so you're a year younger than me. So, yeah. We were really going crazy with the party like it's 1999, I can tell you that. All right. So, let's see here. This one, slightest little slant. Slightest. Barely there. All of this is just not really that curved. This would be at eye level, basically, because it's not curved. You're seeing it dead on, so you don't have the full oval. That's why this isn't making sense either. I gotta work on that. This one is sitting below your eye line, so you're seeing the top of the bottle, the top of the lip. Geez, now I'm feeling ancient. Graduated in 89. You're good. You're good. All my friends are mainly older. It's always been that way. And honestly, like, I'm finding I'm 45, but mentally I still feel like I'm in my 30s, so I can't imagine it's any different the older you get. Chris Williams, the new Bob Ross. Yes, I'll paint some happy little trees for you guys in the next stream. Stay tuned. This thing is like, I really wish the overhead view had worked. It was so frustrating. Oh, that's my stomach. I started doing intermittent fasting, and yeah, I would have started eating like an hour and a half ago, but I have a protein shake over here. I just keep forgetting about it. So that's going to be delicious by the time I actually get to it. For those of you who drink protein shakes, you know, the longer they sit, they get nasty. Nasty. All right, so this does have, see, this is what doesn't make sense though. This is a little off. Unless that cork is sitting weird too, but you shouldn't see the top of it really, if that. shouldn't see the top of it. Like that's why that one's throwing me off too. Because if this is your eye line and this is basically flat, but that one's basically flat too. This thing's off. Well, the bottles are weird. We're just going to blame everything on the bottles today. I think that's the best way to go. Richard says, in 1999, I was working for the power company. Brett, actual age 54. I feel like I'm 64, acting I'm 14. Well, quit the shit with the 64 thing. Because God only knows how you feel when you are 64. If you're 54 right now. All right. This thing, it doesn't look right. So I'm just going to... Do I fudge it or do I go with it? It's so wonky though. Like it's wrong. But it might not be wrong if the cork is sitting weird. That's what's driving my brain nuts. I don't like it. I don't like it one bit. Brain is angry. Alright, we'll make it a little sliver then. Maybe that will make me chill the hell out. This is not my fault, guys. I'm just drawing what I see. Art/beauty is not found in the perfection, but in the imperfections. If everything was perfect, there would be no difference. It wouldn't be Chris Williams or Picasso. I gotcha. It just wouldn't be. How do you guys feel about like the whole AI just creeping into everything? I'm back. I stole my hubby's iPad. I love it. Welcome back, Spider. 1999 was the best New Year's Eve, even with the Y2K scare. The Y2K scare was ridiculous. Richard, I did art shows all over the place, but I just got judged too much, so I stopped. Fair enough. I've never done an art show outside of, high school stuff. Not outside of high school stuff. Alright, that's just gonna be what it is. I've had enough. What did I do? I think I already did this. I'm gonna end up going over this all with that black friggin' pencil anyways, so I don't know why I'm bugging out. No bugging out. Yeah, so the plan is to turn this into a channel where it is art. The art will be kind of at the center of it. It could be drawing, it could be painting, it could be cake decorating, it could be sculpting, it could be whatever artsy thing I feel like doing. But it's going to have a history or travel theme tied into it. And it won't always be art process talk. It'll be more like, with those videos anyways, it'll be more storytelling or history telling. So it'll kind of mix everything you guys already know me for along with art, which is still kind of new to you guys. Kind of new, kind of not at this point, right? Some of you guys are kind of used to my crap at this point. I'm in IT and I can't stand AI. I get to the point, I suppose as it can never answer certain problems, but the rest is a waste to me. I don't like it at all. Yeah, I was always told it could be better. That's why, Paula, I've been seeing AI postings more these days, including what's been popping up on Pinterest as well. Not something I dabble into and not something I enjoy seeing. That's just my personal opinion. I blame the bottles too, Nate. Here's my thing with AI is like, I don't even know what's real half the time anymore or what's fake. And it's frustrating because it's just like, I don't know. How do you even make sense of things at that point? Okay, see this? I'm lifting the extra charcoal off, or the extra pencil, so that when I go over with my darker one, these lines aren't going to show up as much. And you do the same thing if you're going to do this, like outline it in marker or something too. You can hide your pencil lines before doing a full like erase of it. I'm not going to do a full erase of it with stuff I'm working with because it's pretty much the same. But that's okay. Just want to hide them a little bit. Makes you wonder if your critics are artists, Richard. Yeah, that's the thing too, is like there's this girl, she does paint pouring and her stuff is so pretty. And man, did she get a lot of negative comments. You know what, I'm going to fill in the background for, do I really want to fill in the background first though? I kind of want to, but I'm also going to have hands full of, my hands are going to be just like black by the time I'm done. That's going to be the problem. Alright, well, got, what do we have going on here? So this side is kind of black, dark. It's got like a line here, dark up into here. God, I haven't just used pencil in forever. So these are highlight in here too, which I want to work in, but yeah, the problem with the AI lately is just like you don't know what's real, you don't know what's fake. And then there was this one story I saw on video, and I was like, wow, that's really interesting. I want to look that up. So I started diving into it, and I found out it wasn't true at all. And they made it seem like it was this real, you know, historic true crime type of thing. Never happened. Never happened. So I'm just like, you have got to be shitting me. So then there was a few other things like that that popped up, same sort of deal. I'm just like, what the hell? This sucks because, you know, you can't trust anything you watch anymore. And then on the art side of the house, people's stuff is getting stolen basically. And then whoever's like, they're stealing people's music, they're taking it and chopping it up and mixing it around and like selling it, they're doing it to people's art. But where somebody was talking about imperfections and stuff earlier, that's what makes things a Picasso, that's what makes something a Van Gogh. Like that's what art is missing if you start going into all this BS directions with the whatchamacallit, the AI. It's not going to have, you know, that human touch. So then at that point, like, what's the point? It just doesn't make sense to me. I don't know. What do I know? It is annoying though, because I just don't feel like it has, I mean, I don't know. Everybody thought digital art would kill traditional too, so who knows? It's lazy. It's lazy art, I think. We got Brett, you troublemaker. Okay, I don't trust anything anymore, and AI is making that even worse. Yeah. Yep, it is. It's just like you can't tell what's real, you can't tell what's fake. There's so many things that my friends or my family will be like, oh, I saw X, Y, and Z, or they'll send me a video, and I'm like, that's not real. You have to really watch it, watch the cuts of it. Sometimes the voice is enough to cue you into the fact that it's bullshit. Other times it's too hard to even figure that out. Like, it's so bad, and it's only going to get worse. It's only going to get worse. No. So right now I'm just trying to figure out the basic shapes of the shadows. Not looking for perfect, just basic shapes, basic big reflections, that sort of thing. I'm trying to leave some room to sneak that white pen in for some highlights here and there, because there are definitely some reflections down this side of the neck and a little bit over here. And then there's another like highlight here. So I don't want to go too crazy with that. And then there's also some texture in the bottle, which I'm kind of like hesitant to get into too much. Maybe just some squiggly lines for right now, just to kind of show it a bit. Make my darks dark. This isn't as dark as I was expecting it to be honest. This charcoal pencil. That's okay. That's okay. I'm just gonna go over it a few times. And then under the lip is gonna be dark. It's like, sorry guys, I'm like keep flipping you around. Sometimes you need to do that to see what the heck you're doing though. Alright, so that isn't bad. I can live with this. There are a lot of AI commercials that are just plain creepy. Yeah, I've noticed that too. That stupid AI voice that a lot of them use as well drives me nuts. Drives me nuts. Okay, neck of the bottle is in bad shape. Let's... Alrighty. What do we got? Been going for a while. I gotta plug my computer in so I don't lose you guys. Where is the plug? Oh great, I'm sitting on it. I'm not sitting on the plug, I'm sitting I'm sitting on the connector. Oh, there we go. Nothing like old lady sounds. Yeah, and I gotta drink this protein shake before it gets nasty. Nasty, schnasty. Here we go. Oh, Lord. Love your drawing right now. Thank you, Ryan. It's getting pretty crazy with that. I forget the movie I heard this from, but a favorite quote of mine: don't believe anything you hear and only half of what you see and you'll stay alive. Yeah. I've been kind of tuning out a lot on certain things. On Facebook way too much. But I'm mainly like posting weird stuff the whole time. So I don't feel like I fall too much into a trap there. Oh wow, I'm a weirdo. I was right with this. Okay, there isn't, you can't see the top. I was gonna say, that doesn't make any sense. I'm just maxed out. Like I've had enough. I've had enough seeing bullshit. I've had enough of like people ranting, and don't get me wrong, I'm actually a pretty political person, but even the people that I agree with, I'm like sick of hearing it at this point. I'm done. I just don't want to hear anymore. So maxed out on the opposite side, maxed out on my side, and I use sides with like loosely, like we should all be on one side, but you know what I mean. It's just too much. It's too much all the time. It's just always a reason to be pissed off or upset. And like you know that the algorithm's trying to do it to you too, which makes it worse. Just no more. Have you ever heard of the illustrator artist Stephen Gamble? He did the illustrations for the Scary Stories books from the 80s. The name sounds familiar. I'll have to look them up. When I was in school, I would have to fix everybody's artwork so they could pass art class. Old lady sounds. Yeah, I'm getting good at them. Looks great. How long have you been doing art such as this, for an example? Art in general, since I was like old enough to hold a pencil. This one, we started at 10, but I would say it was a good half an hour of like figuring out my setup was screwed up. So everybody went on a wild journey of seasickness until I figured it out. Sorry, guys. Sorry. All right, so there is like this shadow creeping up the side like this, and it doesn't quite touch that bend point. So we will work that sucker in. I feel like it needs to go a little closer to the edge. A little closer and over. Kind of ignoring all the like little details on this one and just focusing on the shapes and shadows. Kind of need to do that more. Sometimes like detail is great, but you can get so hung up on it, you just get kind of lost and overwhelmed. So that is definitely one of my problems. Oh, the sound kills me. It's like art videos too. I love watching them, but some of the sounds, oh, yuck. Materials on the paper, the materials on the canvas, it's just like skin crawling, sort of. All right, I'll do that for right now. I'll leave it like this. It's really creepy, cool artwork. My favorite artist. So my favorite artist when I was a kid was MC Escher. He was like mathematician and artist, so his stuff was like dead on exact mathematically, and his imagination was wild. And then I got into Salvador Dali when I was in high school. Absolutely loved him for the longest time, still do. And it wasn't until I was in my 30s I became a big fan of Van Gogh. And that was because I got the opportunity to visit the Van Gogh Museum in Amsterdam. God, his stuff is so good. The way that they have the museum laid out is really cool because the way they did it is you start obviously on the ground floor, and the very first piece you see is the very first piece that he made, like the big piece. I'm sure he did a lot of drawing and stuff before then, but it was called, I think, the Potato Eaters, and it was just like he focused on everyday like farm kind of life, worker life, and you'd never guess it was him because you're so used to seeing Van Gogh use all these really bright colors and, you know, just very bright, very in your face, all these really cool shapes and stuff. But this old stuff, it was all like he was trying to be somewhat technical, and his colors were all like earth tones and very dark. You never in a million years guess it was him if you didn't know any better. So I got a kick out of seeing that. And then it went in chronological order, all of his artwork that was hung up. So you started with his very first one, and then you went to, you know, his next one. And as you went on, you could see how prints from Japan had hugely influenced his work. And that's where his colors and stuff started coming in, and his style just started becoming more of his own. So I think that was one of the cooler museums I've been to because of how they set it up. It was just so cool to see that, because you don't always get the opportunity to see how an artist started versus how they like ended up, you know, now famous. Kind of like the whole how they got there, influence-wise and stuff. So that was really, really cool. Up until then, obviously, I knew his work. I would have seen it in art books growing up. I would have liked certain pieces, but it wasn't until then that I really liked him. And Starry Night, like most people, is one of my favorites. So like I said, right now, I'm not worrying too much about detail, like small details. I kind of want to just worry about shapes and shadows today rather than doing something crazy and elaborate, because I'll get stopped up, I'll get frustrated, and right now it's just about practice. And that's what we're doing. Old lady sounds as I'm using an ice pack and about to switch to a heating pad for my back. That started from folding laundry. JFB drums. This has been fun to watch. Your artwork is still amazing, Chris. I will catch some of you on Discord. Take care. Sounds good. Thank you. Spider Queen, I hear you, Blue. I have a heating pad on. Oh no. Richard, I love my son. Wait, I hope you love your son. I read that wrong. I love my art. My son got a blue ribbon for a wolf picture he did in Sharpie pen. That's pretty cool. Sharpie's a pain in the butt. Brett, I love Escher. I had a t-shirt with one of his works. He's so good. The one on the stairs, yeah, I love that one. The one with the stairs they use in the background of the labyrinth too, like the final scenes where she's trying to find Toby. I remember even as a kid when that came out, like I knew exactly who and where they got it from. That's how young I got into Escher. I was probably like 4 or 5. One of my nephews took a graphic arts. He is an amazing artist, but I'm guessing I'm biased. Richard, really coming together nicely, Chris. Thank you. Blue, do you ever see the Doctor Who episode called Vincent and the Doctor? It is really cool. I've never watched Doctor Who, I'll be honest. Right? Yeah, that's what you said. Yeah, no, I've never watched it. It's funny because I was working on the Sci-Fi Channel forever, but I never was into sci-fi. So, I mean, I didn't even watch Star Wars until, God, 2020. I hadn't seen it for the first time. I'd seen bits and pieces. I had people like try to make me watch it growing up or as a teen, and I'd fall asleep or get distracted and wouldn't be paying attention. So I didn't actually see it until then. I don't like how thick that line came out, but that is what it is. It doesn't look bad. It just wasn't what I was going for. So I'm trying to figure out, okay, there's really no shade here. It's all the edges, so we don't have to worry too much about this bit just yet. Yeah, sci-fi. Yeah, so I never got into sci-fi. I just didn't. Sci-fi and fantasy. The only thing I made an exception on was Game of Thrones. I got sucked into that pretty good. Got sucked right into that. It was a good show. The last season sucked, but it seems to be away with a lot of the last episodes of things. It's like Dexter. Oh my God, was that a letdown? The last episode of its first run. But now they're back, so I'm psyched. When they came back for that one extra season, I was so frustrated because they set it up where he could have easily gone on. You know what I mean? So then they do what they did. I don't know who's watched it and who hasn't. And then I was like, why did they do that? Doesn't make any sense. And sure enough, he's back. Can't wait for that to come out. What about you guys as far as like streaming and stuff? Because I don't know about you, I hate it. And I don't know if this is just, I don't think this is like old lady talk. Like you get older and you just hate the new technology. I don't think that's it. I feel like they took something, cable, that was working, And they made it into something that is just a beast, and it's difficult and it's ridiculous. Like all these different streaming platforms, you don't know what's on, you don't know when it's on, you don't know what's new to watch. It's just like, I hate it so much. I've had this conversation with Dustin so many times. It's just like, you don't even know where to go anymore to watch anything. It's stupid. It's really, really stupid. Okay, so the shadow here does come up a little bit, but it fades out pretty quick. So we're not going to go too crazy with that. That should do it. A little darker at the bottom. That'll do, donkey. Ooh. Yeah, I'm not a fan of streaming platforms. I think it's just made something that was working awful and complicated and expensive because there's just so many things now. As far as services to go through that you don't really know where to go. This bottle really doesn't have a lot going on in here because it's kind of like light colored. So throwing something in there for the sake of it would just look weird. There's one like highlight spot here, so I'll throw that in afterwards, and there's a little bit of one over here. Otherwise, that bottle's in good shape. I might make this a little darker though. Yeah, I just don't like it. You're doing good. It takes time. Yeah, I'm trying, and that's the thing too, is just time-wise, I'm trying to go faster than I normally would, which isn't a bad thing because I've also got to learn to speed it up a bit. I'm getting there. I don't like that edge though. Do not like it right there. It's like too soft. It's too soft of a line. It's better. Yeah. It's like the song Video Killed the Radio Star. I know. My problem with streaming is I binge the entire show and I have nothing to watch and no more Cheetos in the house. That sounds about right. I just binged Breaking Bad. I hadn't seen it since it was out, and I was watching it as it was coming out weekly. And I just watched Better Call Saul, which I had seen a few episodes in the past, but I never watched the whole thing. I feel like there was something else. I've seen Dexter like 5 times. Because I watched it on my own, then I watched it with my ex-husband, then I watched it with my ex, then my mom wanted to watch it, and then my dad wanted to watch it. Yum. Warm protein shake. So delicious. Don't be jealous. Don't be jealous. Is anybody else like really struggling with allergies this year? I was never one to, honestly, but holy hell is it annoying this year. This bottle's really weird. You know, I kind of want to do that, and I'm going to. I just did it, so there. Actually, that looks better. It's funny how the tiniest little thing. The tiniest little thing can help change it. There we go. That looks better. And this cork is kind of It's kind of like checked up on this side too, actually. Okay. Do you guys do this? Like, you work on something, you kind of constantly spinning it? Because I'll see people on YouTube drawing stuff and they just keep it in that one spot the whole time. And I'm like, how the hell do you do that? Because I constantly have to spin it and look at it from different directions and figure out what the hell I'm doing. Okay. Now, what are we doing with this cork? This cork. See, now I'm looking at it and it doesn't look like there's a thing up there. What the hell am I on today? Alright, so do we do it anyway? We'll do it anyway, but we'll bring it up. We'll bring it up like that. Oh, I like that better. I like this better than what I was doing. Okay. I don't hate that. You guys are getting all my breathing. I'm like, the mic's on. The mic's on my side. I'm just realizing it. Sorry. You're getting every friggin' sniffle and strained comment. It's okay. All right. I don't hate that cork. But again, we're just going to keep things simple. We'll keep them smooth. We're not going to do anything too crazy. Matt, have a good rest of your stream. I'll catch you again next time you go live. Thanks for hanging out. Look forward to next time too. Hopefully we can do this more and the streams won't be as crazy long because it won't take me as long to be making stuff, which I'm not going to stick on for the whole thing being finished either. But whoever gets selected with the supers, you'll get the finished piece. So, all right, so this thing is dark over here. It's got a couple little highlights, but for the most part, it's dark. I didn't do the, whatchamacallit, lip of the bottle. I kind of just skipped it. Wonder if this kind of just happened naturally on its own. I didn't mean to, but I'm going to leave it there. Maybe give it a couple more little spots like that too in the shaded bit. It's kind of dark up here too for some reason, which is fine. Let's see, where do we cut that off? Right about here. That shall work. Your breathing feels normal to me watching so much Ross. I'm just like the creepy breather over here. Oh, if you aren't the first to do ASMR, you aren't the first. Bob was the originator of that. The whispering, the slapping his brush on the easel, hearing his brush stroke scraping. I was on CNN with my brother because I could draw and he could carve animals out of rock, but we couldn't we don't do it anymore. Both of you need to get your acts together and get back to it. I'm going to send somebody over there to straighten you both out. I started struggling super bad about 5 years ago. I can't stand to have my contacts in because my eyes were itchy. I was taking 4 Zyrtec a day to try to get yeah, it's just like back home in New England, I didn't have allergies, but in Arizona, I am struggling. Struggling. I think I'm gonna put a few little like marks like this. It's very quirky, right? You don't need a ton of them, just enough to kind of like say this is what it is. Maybe one out from this dark space. Here we go. That's fine. As far as the top is going to be getting some light, so I don't want to go too crazy there. Make that look like it dipped down a little bit or something. There we go. I say we leave that alone. Alright, so now this lip is pretty much dark, except for this outer bit here. And, wow, it is really dark. This little bit here. And, like that. But I don't want to follow it exactly because if I follow this black all the way up, it's going to get lost in the cork. So I'm going to give it a little bit of a glow, which would actually make more sense with the light. And then we need the line in the bottom is going to get lost like that too. How do I do that? How in the world do I just leave it like a little glow area, like lights bouncing up? You know what? That's exactly what I'm going to do. That's totally what's happening right now. Lights bouncing up, right? You believe me? Don't you? Just say yes. We can play with that with the white too. I'll probably finish this bottle and then I might have to duck out because it's been 2 hours. So I'll finish doing the black on this and then I'll throw a couple little highlights in. And then I might call it for today, guys. All right. So like I said, if you're interested in any of the things that I'm using, honestly, if you just want to check them out, if you want to try it, if you don't, it's fine. But I did list everything that I'm using in the description. And then, because I'm like that, I'll watch art videos and then I'm like, oh my gosh, what is that? What are they using? And so, I'm so stupid because I've got so many products at this point. I really shouldn't be buying any more things. But then I'll see somebody that has something I've never used before, and the next thing I know, my dumbass is grabbing it. But yeah, if you do, they're affiliate links, so it does kick back like a commission to me, but it's doesn't charge you anymore. And as far as who is up for grabs for this finished piece, which the rest of it will look a lot like this bottle. I'm going to add some white to it so you guys can get a bit more of a feel. I will send that out to one of the supers as soon as it's finished. I want to darken that a little bit. Sometimes just doing lines in different directions too can help kind of create more of a shape. Like these ones, I have lines coming in this way, and now I'm going over, it's making it darker, but it's also kind of adding to it being round. It's all about the pencil or brush strokes. I actually really like this so far. I do. I haven't worked with pencil in so long. The other thing too is you can use smudging sticks. Hold on, let me find them. Stumps. We used to call them stumps. So you can make these, but a lot of people will buy them too. We used to just make them in school, take paper and wrap them really, really, really tight. And then you take it and you use it to like smudge out, blend in the edges, which I'm not going to do right now because this is kind of something you do towards the end. I might not even do that. Sometimes I just like the rough like look to it. But that is another option. All right, let's put some white in here and we will call it for today. And before I do call it, I'll let you guys, we'll figure out the super thing because I feel like, I think somewhere here it lets me know who did what. And then I can write names down, or I'll just write names down now. Oh, my brain is all over the place. I should have been writing names down as I went, and then I could have, woulda, shoulda. Name in a hat situation. I have 20 million notebooks around here, and guess who can't find one when she needs one? My silly ass. Where are you, notebook? Is that one? I got too much stuff. I gotta do like a major clean out. Alright. Steal a piece of paper from here. Is this? No, it's not an empty page. Of course not. How about this one? Yeah. Alright. So usually I thought it said like at the top who's done what. Somebody said they're taking off. Hi Chris, I have to go. I hope everyone had a good day on here. You too, Richard. Have a good day over there. I'm sure I'll see you. I think it's Facebook. We give each other a hard time. Was paint pour canvases for, well, she used to, but wait a minute, I'm confused. What happened here? Do you sell your stuff on a website anywhere? Okay, so right now I'm doing paint pours, I'm doing sketch cards, and I'm trying to get back to like this kind of art. But my art that's going to be like this is going to be history based, it's going to be travel based, it's going to be influenced off of some place I went, it's going to be some sort of weird angle, not necessarily paranormal, so don't everybody get too excited about, ooh, more ghosts. It's not necessarily going to be ghosts. There'll be weird history, strange places, that sort of stuff. So right now I'm mainly selling my stuff on eBay. My paint pours I set for set prices, my sketch cards I tend to do auctions. And when I start doing more pieces like this, I'm going to start doing it as like set prices as well too. I didn't even think to put my eBay link on the stream, to be honest. Actually, let me see if I can find it. I don't have a lot up there right now. I can put it in the chat. Where am I? So I've got 3 paint pours up there right now, but I will have some more detailed stuff and some sketch cards coming soon. Eventually I'll have us all moved to an actual website that is mine. I have chriswilliams.com, but I'm through GoDaddy and I hate it, so I'm thinking about moving it to Shopify to make it easier. Or I could open a different shop under my LLC name, which is technically an art LLC, but I don't know. I haven't figured it out yet, is what I'm saying. So eBay has just been easier. I'd love to have a triple canvas paint pour hanging up over the couch. Ooh, a triple pour. I have been thinking about, I've done some doubles. I've been thinking about doing some triples. I think the hard part is like, I wanted to start doing commissions on those. But with pours, it's so hard because there's only so much you can control. So I could have, a buyer who, okay, so we got Brett. I could have a buyer who wants me to do it. I could have them pick their colors. But it's just like, beyond that, there's only so much I can do. You know what I mean? So then it's just, what if I do it and the person doesn't like the end result? And now I'm stuck with this massive painting. And it's just been, I haven't been sure how to handle it. So then we've got blue, 92, blue, 92. All right, so I'm gonna figure out who on that. I think it was just you three that did. Yeah. Okay. So at blue, 92 or blue. Okay. All right, let's add some white to this, and then we shall call it for today. There you go. Okay, again, this is not typically what I would use. I would use the generals. Usually, like, so I have it linked in the description as a set, and it includes the black and the white, so you don't have to go searching for both of them separately, but usually I have a white one. I can't find it, so the only thing I could find for today was just this white chalk pencil by a company I've never used before, so hopefully it doesn't suck. I would want it to be your vision so it stays your artwork. I always loved the paint pour multiple pieces she did, but they were never in the right colors for my space. Yeah, that's the hard part. I mean, I could have people who are interested give me an idea on colors, and I could play around with those colors for a while. And if I came up with one that they liked, they can buy it. But it's, like I said, it's hard. You could end up paying me to do it, and then the end piece could end up not being something you want. And then I don't want to stick you with something you don't want. And I also don't want to be stuck with it either if it wasn't colors I'd typically pick. So it's kind of tough. All right, let's get back to this highlights. And then we'll pick the person who will be getting this once it's finished. And then we will call it for today. Oh, there we go. I thought this white would show up more. It's not as bright as I was hoping it would be. It's not bad, but okay, we got a little highlight going on over here. It's really light. I would show up more than that. I mean, it's there, but it's just not in your face. I wonder if, I don't know if the Prismacolor would show up any better. It does a little bit, but I don't know how, it was not really going to work with the charcoal. What's the problem? But if we're not blending them together, it should be okay. I just really want it in a few spaces. Actually, that works. We'll stick with the Prismacolor for this. If someone buys a Jackson Pollock, they don't model the room around the painting. At least to me. Yeah, he's a wild one. I know I know that the options are endless as far as colors. It would be super hard to personalize in general without having an idea of their color palette. Yeah, totally. Oh, Nate snuck in there at the end. All right, Nate. Okay. All right. Let's see. What was I doing? Keep getting distracted. Doesn't take much with me. All right, so there's a white bit in here. The Prismacolor is doing its job. It's doing the best it can. I thought it would show up more, that chalk pencil, but not so much. I wonder if the generals would have been better. I would hope so, considering this is what it's supposed to be for, but do a little highlight here. And here. Let's see, where else do we want to go? I don't want it everywhere because I want it to be like the brightest spots. You figure there's going to be light spots in general, and then there's going to be the really hot spots where the light's really hitting it. So I just want to hit the hot spots. So this was definitely one. And then there's one just underneath it, which kind of was a bit of a circly kind of shape. There we go. It's not so bad. And then there's a bigger one here. So the light source is up above. Okay. It's kind of like a circle kind of hit. So I'm going to do light and then go darker with it. Where should I put the happy little trees? Okay, I don't hate that. I do feel like it needs to like come down a little bit though. That's good. That works. Then we want a little bit over here. Do you know what I didn't notice too? Like when I first started doing art videos and I had to edit it, the number of times that I flip my pencil, I'll do this. It's like make a little line, flip, make a little line, flip. I'm like, oh my God, this is making editing a nightmare. It was so bad. So bad. Do a nice little head over here too. Considering the light is from above. From above. Okay, and I don't think there's a little bit of a glow here for some reason. Doesn't really make any sense, but there is one. It could be bouncing up from another object that's not in this picture. That's the hard part with glass. So we will just throw that in there because that's what the picture says to do. Okay, is that, oh no, up here. I'll do a little bit in the cork. Okay, I think that might be it for that bottle. How's that? Bottle number 1. We still have the other 3 to go, but we're not going to do that today. So I'll stop with this. We will pick a winner from who's going to be getting the finished version of this. I'll end up posting a picture of it too online, I'm sure, when I'm done. I feel like I'm looking at my fingernails. My hands are a hot mess. And this is paint pour. I've got like paint all over the place. I've given up on my nails. Do you know what sounds silly too? Is like you watch so many art videos and people's nails are like perfect and they're all done up, and then it's like I feel like I have to have my nails done too, and then I don't do anything because I don't want to do my nails, and then I have to keep redoing my nails when they get chipped. And I'm like, this is just freaking stupid. So I've stopped doing that. All right, so we got 4 people. We got 4 super people, and we'll do a name pulling out of the hat of sorts, because why freaking not, right? I told you guys this was going to be random. Not about how much, it's just a thank you for those who did. And so we got Brett, we got Richard, we've got Blue 92, and we've got Nate who just snuck in there. And I'll do a little, I gotta find something to pull them out of, right? I mean, that's half the fun. My desk is a mess. Oh my God, is it a mess? I want to try to get on the sketches this week too, the sketch cards, because I haven't done one since last month, I think, sometime. All right, now I need a little thing to stick them in. What do we got? What do we got? No shortage of shit. That's what we got. Oh, I don't want to do that. Okay. Got our nice little handy dandy container. All right. Okay. Don't judge my messy desk right now. Okay. All right. Who's it going to be, you think? Any guesses? All right. Shake them, shake them, shake them. We've got, look at you, Nate. Goofball. Well, you got pulled. All right, cool. So Nate, I need you to email me, okay? Hold on, I will give you my email address. That way I can get your information to email this to you. Hold on one second. Goodness, how many typos can I make? All right, Chris at... Oh. All right. So email me there, Nate, your mailing address, and I will get you this as soon as it's done. I'll have the bumper sticker out to you as well, and the sticker. I've got all of it in the mail. Let's see. As for right now... Hi. My bed's a mess. I'm gonna throw a bunch of stuff over there. Thank you guys for hanging out. I know this is very different from what you guys know me for, so I appreciate you giving it a chance. This was fun. I actually really enjoyed doing this today, and I've been having such a hard time getting myself to just sit down and practice. This might be a fun way to do it. So as soon as this is done, Nate, I will have that in the mail for you. Just make sure you get me your information. And everybody who sent supers, I really appreciate it, like I do every week. Thank you so much. I am working on a video right now that works on my entire paint pour process. I'm hoping to have that out in the next week or two. And then the other one I want to do is a video that hopefully, depending on how I do on this, where I paint this in oil paints. And I might do a video talking about my switch to art, why I'm switching to art, my background in it, kind of like starting over basically at 44 with something different, and why I'm doing it and what I hope to do with the channel. So that is coming. But for now, thank you guys for hanging out. I really appreciate it. And I will look at doing this again next week. So I hope you have a great day wherever you are. Whatever time it is. I hope you're having a great day. Bye, guys.